George Bush arrives in Europe for the first G8 Summit since the annexing of Iraq. Tens of thousands of people respond to calls to disrupt the opening ceremony. One affinity group, consisting of 17 people from 10 different countries, decide to blockade a motorway and stop some of the delegates arriving. Protesters wait until getting confirmation that a convoy of delegates has left Geneva. They then proceed to block the road. A barricade made from banners is erected to stop the traffic. Further along the bridge, a rope barricade is stretched across the motorway.
Is there any way that this is run up on in the Evian newswire yet?
Yeah.
With our telephone number?
Yeah.
In the valley below, one activist, Martin, prepares to climb up the rope.
Martin! Please, she's going!
Ribbons are tied on the rope to make it clearly visible. On the other side, Gesine prepares to lower herself down on the same rope. Both are experienced climbers. The banners on the first barricade say, in French, "If you pass this point, you will kill 2 people."
Mais alors, je m'en fous, si vous voulez tuer mon enfant, moi je tue des autres alors.
Signora, stai calma.
Alright, you're very safe, nobody. Maybe we need to go.
Vamos.
Hermosa, sos la mejor. Vamos, carajo.
Oh, there's a big coach.
The first police are arriving. The senior officer is in the grey shirt. The police try and open the road after only a few seconds without giving themselves any time to assess the situation. The officer in blue is the man who will cut the rope. Later, at a press conference, police will claim that he arrived late on the scene. The activist with a high-visibility jacket and other of the safety precautions used while blocking the road is indicating with his hands as well as words about the climbers. The protesters try and talk to the senior officer, but he is always on his mobile phone. He chooses to ignore all attempts to communicate. Here, the senior officer is saying, "Get them away, get them away." Later he says he doesn't care if the climbers break their necks. The police officer who will cut the rope walks up from behind and rips up the banner which says, "If you pass this point, you will kill 2 people." The activists are trying to calm the situation down.
Il y a des gens appendus.
They are talking directly to the motorists, explaining the situation.
Il y a des personnes qui sont appendus. Il y a des personnes.
Protesters are trying desperately to defend their colleagues who are hanging from the bridge. The senior officer is running to clear this barricade, demonstrating how frantic he is to open the road. It appears to be his top and only priority. This second barricade is a spontaneous response to the police trying to open the road. He needlessly attacks a camera person. Other officers are arriving. They too immediately start clearing away the activists. The scream in the background comes from the police liaison person. The senior officer is pulling her along by her hair.
State qua, voi state di qua, tanto non c'è senso.
The officer in blue is looking down the road at the rope barricade. These officers have crossed the central reservation. They have seen Martin hanging from the bridge. By this time there are 3 different police forces on the scene: military, traffic and regular.
No, vabbè, ho capito.
No safety precautions have been taken. Activists are all over the road, trying again and again to stop the traffic. By now they are not trying to block the delegation, but simply trying to prevent any harm to the climbers. By opening the road in such an ad hoc manner, the police have enabled cars to charge through the barricade, endangering their own lives and the lives of the protesters. One policeman who has just arrived on the scene walks up to the rope. He gets his knife out and is about to cut it. A protester and another police officer move in and stop him. The police are just waving the car drivers on. Nowhere do we see them talking to any of the drivers, asking them to drive slowly or carefully. This officer walks straight past his senior officer. Without talking to the policeman holding the rope up, or checking in any way, he cuts it.
Il y a personne.
Écoutez, c'est pas moi qui ai coupé la tête.
Just get on the holding, yeah? Tape, please. Just get holding. Tape, don't. Yeah.
Espèce de taré!
No!
The road,
I know!
Mais tu comprends rien!
Ma que tu ne comprends rien.
Malade! Non, mais non! Vous avez tué quelqu'un, monsieur! Allez! Dis donc, il n'y a pas des killers!
Ils ont appelé l'ambulance ou non?
S'il vous plaît!
Ils l'ont appelé ou non?
Appelez l'ambulance!
How is Martin?
Martin is perhaps has some fractures, and at the moment he's okay, he's talking, he's conscious, he's very cold, but he needs to go to a hospital urgently.
Alors, il y a le fourreau cellulaire qui va arriver. On va embarquer toute cette équipe de mafia de merde. C'était pas aussi réglé comme il est.